Hi lovely people, welcome back to my tutorial for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your support. And please, if this is your first time, kindly help us by hitting on that red icon to subscribe, and also touch the notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So in our today's class, we shall be learning how to make a short danchiki dress. So here I have a whole of 6 yards of this Ankara fabric, but I won't be finishing it. Okay, so I intend to use at most 2.5 or less than 2.5 yards. Okay, all right. So here I have the length that I want to be working with is 43 inches. So I'll be using the rest of that to do my folding to hem the down part. Okay, so our measurement will be starting from this part. And I folded my fabric into 4 equal parts because those dress won't be having a zipper. My measurement will be starting from this point, okay, towards this direction. Okay, to be starting from this point. So from here now, I will get my nipple point, my shoulder to nipple point, okay, which is 12.5 inches or 12 inches, but I added half an inch, making it 12.5. This half now, I'll be using it to, when I take my half inches to join the back and the front, okay, it will now adjust to this 12 inches. So, then here I have my half length of 17 inches. Then from my half length, I have my hip measurement of 9 inches. So here, I'll be cutting this. This is a cut together with sleeve. So here you determine the length of the sleeve that you want to be working with, either 10 inches or 8 inches. I've done so many tutorials on how to take your measurement when you want to cut together. It's either you take your measurement from where you want the sleeve to start from to the other sleeve, across the shoulder to the other hand. But if you don't want that, you can just take your shoulder measurement, then add it up to the sleeve length. Okay, so for this, I'll just be adding it up. The sleeve is 8 inches, so for the both hand is now 16 inches. That is 8 plus 8, which is 16 inches. Then the shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches, so 16 plus 16 will give us 32 inches. So when you divide that 32 into 2, it will be giving us 16 inches. So here I have my 16 inches. And I also have a little bit of allowance here, so I'll be using it to do my foldings. Okay, so the next thing I will do now is to consider my neck line. So the neckline I'm working with is 3.5 inches. Okay, so from here now, from this our sleeve line, I'll come down by 1 inch. So from this 1 inch now, I will make a connection from this our neckline to this 1 inch here. So I'll just connect it from this our neckline here to the 1 inch. So this will be serving as our slope. So the next thing to do now is to determine our our sleeve our armhole. Okay, so here I'll be making use of 10 inches. Okay, from this 10 inch now, I'll come out by 1 inch. Then from this 1 inch now, I will connect it to this point. Okay, the reason why I made this knot to be straight is, this part is the part that will be entering towards the armhole, the armpit side. And the armpit side is always shorter than the upper part of the sleeve. Okay, so when those parts entered there, that's why I just eliminate it by 1 inch so that it will be equal when you put it on. But if you cut it straight, when you put it on, it will be as if that the armpit area is bigger, as in it's longer than the upper part. But when you just shift your hand like 1 inch, okay, it will be as if that the two is equal. Okay. Okay, having done this now, the next thing to do is to impute our bust measurements. And that is why I drew a line of our bust point. That is from shoulder to our nipple measurement. So at this point now, I'll be taking our bust measurement. So the bust I'm working with is 42 inches. Into 4 will give us 10.5. So from here, I will mark my 10.5. In Danshiki dress is always very free. So I'll be adding extra allowance to make the dress free, not fitted. Okay, so here I'll be adding extra inches. For the bust, I'll be adding 1.5 inches. Then I'll add extra 1 inch for my seam allowance. So the waistline, the waist we're working with is 38 inches into 4 to give us 9.5. 9.5. At the waistline, I'll be adding extra inches of 2 inches, okay? Then I'll add 1 inch for our seam allowance. The hip I'm working with is 51 inches into 4 to give us 12.75. So at the hip line, I will take 12.75. So here I will add extra 2 inches for allowance. Then I will add at this hip line, because when you look at the picture or the danchiki, you notice that at the hip line, it's always XX, giving the shape of the hip. So because of that, instead of adding 2 inches, I'll be adding 3 inches. Then I'll add 1 inch for our seam allowance. So altogether at this, my waist measurements, I'm having 16.5 inches. So coming down to my hemline, I will take the 16.5 inches at the hemline. Then I'll come in by 2 inches. Now go ahead now and connect it. I moved in so it will give me a form of a pencil shape, so to bring out the shape very well. So from here I will connect to my hemline. Then from my hip I will connect to the waist measurement. Then to my bust measurement. So I'll just use my hand to blend this so that it won't be sharp, okay? So at this point, at this our bust measurement, I'll put my tape like so. Then I'll come out by half an inch, by 1.5 inches. Okay, it's either you come out by 1.5 inch or you come out by 1 inch. So from here, from those bust measurements, I'll come out by 1 inch. Then from this 1 inch that we came in, I'll connect it like so to meet the 1 inch, then to meet to the waist line down. Okay. Hope it's very clear enough. So coming back to our neckline, we marked 3.5 inches here. So for the neck depth, for the back we'll be using 1 inch. Then for the front we'll be using 4 inches, and it will be having a slit at the front part. So that slit will be 2.5. So altogether will give us 6.5 for the front. Then from those 3.5, you connect it to the 1 inch first. Then we connect to the 4 inches. So I'll just go ahead now and cut out this shape. Okay, after cutting it out, we have the shape. As you can see, the shape is looking beautiful already. I cut out the back, then separate it and cut out the front neck. So the next thing to do is to create our slit. Remember, you mark 2.5 inches. So I'll just open up the part to that 2.5. So this is what we have. This type of dress usually do not need lining. So the only thing we will do now is to cut out a facing for the two neck. That's for the front and the back. We'll be using the material to cut out the facing. For the facing, just get another fabric, either the same material or another material. Fold it into two this way. Then place the one that you want to cut out. So this is our neckline and this is the slit. So what you will do now is to make sure that this folded part is being fresh to this folded part. Just join it this way. Then the next thing is for you to sketch this out. So here is where this will be ending. It's not a must that the facing will reach to this sleeve end. Hope you can see me well. You can see what I'm doing, sorry. So it's not a must that this will reach to the end part. You can decide to stop at anywhere of your choice. Then you take note of this slit. Okay, this slit ends to this point. See? So you have to add something like 3 inches or 2 inches so that when you line it, it won't be coming out. So here I'll take like 3 inches or 3.5, because it's either I line the lining or I weave out the facing with my line it up with my hemming gum, then line it up with my hairstay, then use my hemming gum to hold it firm to the dress. or you can decide to weave it and tack it to the dress. But if you like, you can just fold it and just use your tacking needle to tack it at the dress so that it won't be coming out from the neckline. So here I will just sketch out this my neckline this way. So when you are cutting this, make sure that you do not cut the exact neckline. You just give a little bit of space so that it will not affect the neckline. So here is the 3.5 that I marked. So what I will do now is to make any, sorry, I have to do something again before I remove this. Okay. I have to sketch out this point too because of the slope. I have to sketch this out so that when I remove it, I will have my neckline shape. So from here now, I will just come down this way. It's either I do it in a block form or I decide to curve it. Anyone is perfect and okay. I think I'll be going straight this way. Then join it this way. So I'll just go ahead and cut this out. So here I won't be cutting exactly what I marked, so I'll just be giving a little bit of space in cutting out the neck line. And please, when cutting out this, make sure you don't open up the slit yet. After turning it out, you can now sketch this out and open up your slit. So go ahead and cut out the back piece the same way we cut out for the front. Just place this. Then sketch this out. I want to have the same length, so I'll just place this one here so that I will know where to stop. Okay, I'll just join this line here, and for this part I'll be using 3 inches from here because this one is not having the slit. I'll also use the 3.5. Then I'll connect this straight like this, then connect to this. So I'll go ahead and cut out this. So it's either I go ahead and cut out those 2 pieces again to use it for lining, okay, to use it and line it before using it to turn out this so that I can be able to close up this part, or I use my iron to hold it, then use my hemming gun to attach it at the body of the dress. But because we are not having light now, I think I'll just be cutting it out. I'll be just be cutting out another piece to line it out. So I've cut out another piece to line it up. I just concluded on lining it up. Okay, so what I will do now is just go to my machine. Then I'll close up here close the down part this way, then turn it out from this neckline. Okay, so when I turn it out from this neckline, I'll just place it at the front piece. Let me use this so that it will be clear enough. I will just place it at this front piece this way, then I will stitch it out. Then I'll also follow this opening here. When I turn it out, I won't be turning out here because I'll be stitching that part. So I'll just place this way and stitch it out. I'll stitch it up this way, then stitch out to this point, this slit, go like this to this point, so that after that I can now open up the facing. Then I will now turn it inward, so it will be inside like this. So I'll do the same thing to the back piece also. So after that, I will now join the back piece and the front piece shoulder. I'll join the two shoulder, then close up this the sleeve this way. I'll stitch up the sleeve, then use the 1 inch of allowance that we added to shape it out. I've also cut out a pocket for it. Okay, so this is our pocket. I have 4 pieces here. I have 4 pieces of it, so I'll just stitch 2 then fix it to the dress. Just from here, I'll take 5 inches down, then from that 5 inch I'll mark another 7 inches. So at this opening, this 7 inches here will be the place that I'll be attaching the pocket. Okay, so I'll just go to the machine and do that. I'll come back and show you the finishing part. This is a very simple and an easy work to do. So I would like you all to try it, and you can send it to my Facebook page at Solum Fashion World. Please do not skip the edits. Help us by watching the edits. Okay, and before you download, if those of you that want to download, please watch the edits. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the button. So this is the result of our dress. As you can see, it comes out very beautiful. Okay. This is the facing, and there's the slit. So I'll just go ahead and iron it out. So thank you for watching till the end. Till we'll meet in my next class. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.